I'm Jesse Brookshire.
I'm Sam Johnson.
This beautiful dish we've brought for you is a blackberry braised beef rib with a little bit of whiskey in there. And then we got a little zucchini olathe corn succotash.
On the other side of the dish, we have a warm potato salad.
Yeah. Warm sweet potato
With
brown butter sage sauce.
Got it. We got some beautiful hand-cut beef ribs here. We're gonna take them over to this hot cast iron skillet that we got going on high heat over here. Take maybe about a fluid ounce of olive oil. We're gonna coat the pan. We also wanna hit it with a little bit of pepper. I prefer using ground pepper from peppercorns, being a lot fresher. And salt. When we flip them, we're gonna hit the other side as well.
So basically all four sides, get a nice caramelization on those. All because you want to seal in those juices for when we're about to throw them in the oven with this braising liquid.
This rib is a beautiful example of the finished product that we're looking for right now. Every single side of it is perfectly caramelized.
Found a beautiful plaything, the one that lives inside my head. From now on I can never replace you, 'cause you can never ever replace the dead. I found a beautiful plaything, the one that lives inside my head. From now on I can never replace you.
All right, next step after caramelizing those ribs is we're gonna do a little whiskey and blackberry braise. So the first thing for this sauce is we're gonna do a little bit of ginger and shallot. So Sam is gonna cut up a little shallot. I'm gonna get this ginger going with a knife. And we are going to puree this at the end of the cooking process, so you don't really need it to be that fine. So basically, Sam's got 2 shallots. It's gonna be probably about 3 tablespoons of shallot and 3 tablespoons of chopped ginger.
You know, there's also another way to peel ginger. You can also use a potato peeler, whatever really you have at your disposal to use.
Yeah, you can actually use the back of a spoon too, which I've seen, which is pretty cool. After we finish chopping this, both of us, we're gonna head over to the saute pan and we're gonna start sauteing these vegetables. All right, so our oil's at a ripple here. You don't wanna get it too hot, but you wanna make sure your oil's nice and hot for these. Get a nice little caramelization. Should hear a sizzle there. Basically, we're just gonna saute these. Saute all of this for about a minute. Next step, we're gonna add about a 1/4 cup of tomato paste. The reason we add this during the cooking process is it cooks off a little bit of that starchiness from the tomato paste itself. And also, you get a little caramelization, a little depth of flavor here. So we're gonna cook this for 30 seconds to a minute. You can cook it as long as you want, really. The longer, the more caramelization, a little deeper flavor you get. So you get all that deliciousness going. And then next comes the best part, which is whiskey. And not only is whiskey awesome, but so is flambeing shit. Well, when you add this, if you're at home, make sure that you're adding the liquor away from the flame, because this whole bottle can catch fire. So we're gonna add about 1/2 cup here, and then be careful. There you go. Basically, flambeing is you're cooking out all the alcohol from the whiskey itself. And trust me, I'm a professional. And flames are a beautiful thing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this to a stock pot. And then we're gonna add our beef stock. Boom, so in with our beef stock. That right there, we got about 3 cups of beef stock going in with our ingredients here, and then we're gonna let that start reducing.
Let's play with your ego in a cage. I'm gonna wrap it all up till it kisses back now, babe.
Right now we're gonna fabricate some sweet potatoes for our warm sweet potato salad. You wanna split it in half. That's exactly what you're looking for right there.
Strips.
Yeah, most warm potato salads are delicious. And you can pretty much use them with almost every dish. We're gonna cut them in nice little cubes.
So we're gonna par cook these potatoes in a little bit of salted water. It's gonna be about a 4-minute process. You just wanna get about a half cook on them. That way we're gonna finish them in the oven and caramelize them.
All right, now that our potatoes are 80% cooked, we're gonna pull them out and put them on a sheet tray over here on our table. And make sure all the water is drained out of these bad boys before you take it over there. You're gonna have a mess on the floor. Bring it over to the sheet tray over here. We're gonna just lay them out right here. We're gonna lightly coat with oil. It's a nice zigzag drizzle will work. I'm gonna use some coarse salt. Just get a little bit over the top. It's gonna be really hot to do this with your hands, so probably not a good idea. I would recommend probably a spatula. Just kind of mix them around, get them all coated with that olive oil. Okay. Now our oven is preheated to 500 degrees, and we're gonna go over here and go ahead and slide those in. Want to leave them in there for probably about anywhere from about 5 to 10 minutes and see where they get. You're looking for that nice crisp caramelization on the top of the potato.
Like a brick, I fall quickly. Like a brick, you build a wall, babe. Like a brick, I'll be like a brick, waste down the feathers in your metaphorical.
All right, you got those sweet potatoes in? Nice. All right, we're gonna make a little brown butter sauce for that. We're gonna cook this to a brown butter, which is basically you bring the butter up to a temperature where it starts cooking some of those fat solids in the butter, and it starts creating a real nice nutty aroma. It's gonna complement the sage. Once it gets to a light brown stage, pull it off the heat because it's gonna keep cooking. And that's when we come in with the sage, the almighty sage. Oh, so good. All right, our brown butter's ready. In with the sage. When you add this sage to your brown butter, you're gonna get a little fizzle, a little foam. Don't worry, make sure you don't have too small of a pot, otherwise that is going to foam all over the place. Nobody likes foam all over the place. Well, maybe some people do, but I don't. Just wanna let it foam for about 20 seconds. Basically, you're pulling out all those essential oils from that sage. We're just gonna strain all of this. So you get some of those remnants from that butter. They can become a little bitter. And that is our brown butter for our sweet potato salad.
All right, now that our potatoes have come to the right temperature, we're gonna pull them out of the bottom oven here. I'm just gonna kind of lightly scrape them off the bottom because you don't want to smash them. These things have been cooked and they are very, 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 very breakable. We're going to add 1/2 cup of sour cream and 1/2 cup of mayo. Okay, next we got our brown butter that we just got done making with our sage infused. I'm gonna dump that right over the top right there. Use the whole 1/2 cup. Next, we rendered some bacon. We're gonna put that right on top. So we're just gonna blend the sour cream, mayonnaise, brown butter all together in the bacon. The last step of this is we're gonna finish it with some pink Himalayan salt. Just gonna give it a nice little toss right there. And that's it, warm sweet potato salad.
I found a beautiful plaything, the one that lives inside my head. From now on, I can never replace you, 'cause you can never, ever replace the day. Replace the day.
are some beautiful blackberries from the northwestern Pacific region in the United States. These are a great fruit because when you cook them, like we're gonna do in this braising liquid, is the nutrients and minerals actually don't break down like most fruits and vegetables when you cook them. So that's just one added benefit to this sauce is once we cook these down, you're still gonna get all the delicious nutrients that we're looking for in your food. So here we go. This is going straight in. This is about 12 ounces of blackberries. It's going into our braising liquid we're working on. And then we're gonna add half of our brown sugar. This is a cup of brown sugar, so we're gonna add half of it to the braising liquid. We're gonna save the rest for the end of the process, which is gonna be the barbecue sauce at the very end, which we're gonna glaze our ribs with. So, and about a half tablespoon of salt. We got all our ingredients into the braising liquid. We're gonna bring it up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, you wanna cut it down to a low heat and simmer for about 10 minutes. And then once that happens, we're gonna pull it off and then we're gonna puree it and then we're good to go for our braising liquid. Oh, this is beautiful. We're gonna pull this off. It's time to blend. And obviously we're blending this because we cut all the shallots and ginger and all the blackberries. They're all pretty thick right now.
You always want to start the blender by giving it a few just quick pulse pushes instead of blending it all at once because all that steam's going to push the lid off and you're going to get burnt in the face. Got residual liquid off the top of the lid here. And into the ribs we go. Temperature.
Anytime you're braising, you want to make sure that they're covered at least 3/4 of the way. The meat, that is. And that looks good. It's about 3/4 to fully covered. All we're going to do now is just foil it. I'm going to foil the top here. And then we already have an oven preheated. We got it on 325 degrees.
Perfect braising temperature.
And then we're gonna cook it for about 3 hours to really break down all those proteins. So these ribs are falling off the bone.
So we got some zucchini here. Basically, we just cut off the tips and the ends. We're gonna fabricate those in half.
All right, the reason why we're cutting them in half is we basically want to take all the seeds out of here. Because when you're throwing them onto a grill or any sort of hot surface with zucchini, you want to get the seeds out of here because it's going to create a nice char, a nice solid sear on there. You can see the seeds, obviously, so you just get in here and you just want to remove those.
Seeds hold a lot of moisture. This is actually a perfect example of one.
Once these are deseeded, Sam and I are both going to cut them into about 2.5 inch diameter length and then about a 1/2 inch wide. We're also going to toss some corn, toss with some oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper with the zucchinis that we're both chopping up.
We're going to hit this with a little bit of oil.
Hit it up with a little bit of kosher salt. Nice pinch of some fresh ground pepper. Just like that, everything. Nice seasoned oil on there. Boom, and that's ready for the grill. We're gonna go corn on a little bit lower heat so we can rotate it properly. Zucchini's gonna go on higher heat, get a nice sear on there. So the zucchini will take about 40 seconds each side. Corn's gonna take about 2 minutes. You wanna rotate it constantly. So while that's working, in the meantime, make sure you have a bowl, a clean bowl that you have to take all this inside, and then we're gonna toss it with our feta, and that's gonna be our salad. So that is perfect. That's what we're looking for. Should still be slightly crisp. We're gonna pull this off. Actually, this corn is ready to go, and we're gonna take it inside and pull it off the cob. But just skim down the cob, get all those kernels off there. The last step is we're gonna add our feta cheese. We got some crumbled feta. It's about 1/4 cup of crumbled feta.
So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna lightly toss it with the feta. We're gonna take a spatula because you wanna break up that feta. So there you go. There's our finished product right there.
Beautiful.
Now we're gonna uncover our ribs that we've been braising for the last 5 hours. Wow.
Damn, buddy, those look good.
They look amazing. Look at that. Right now, this rib is one gigantic sponge of flavor. And that's what we were looking for the whole time. So
Absolutely.
very exciting. You can see the marrow coming out on the sides. That means it's got soaked up in the sauce. And the sauce is now, like, even has a higher depth of a flavor profile. So we're just gonna take these out. I'm gonna set them on this plate right here.
We're gonna let these kind of rest, and then we're gonna take all this braising liquid straight into this saucepan, and then we're gonna reduce it by about, 3/4. We're gonna take all this braising liquid straight into this saucepan. So as you can see here, we've reduced this by 3/4. So that's about 1/4 of what we started with. Right here, this is about a cup of ketchup. We got about 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar. And then we got the rest of our brown sugar, which is the other 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And we're gonna add about 1/2 of a tablespoon of salt. So all you want to do is just bring all this together, let it come back up to a simmer for about 5 minutes. Let all those ingredients kind of come together. All right, the moment of truth, my friends. The plating of all this hard work we put in. Sam's gonna plate up our little sweet potato salad, bacon, sour cream, brown butter sage sauce, which is amazing. And then we have our grilled vegetable medley here with lathe corn, zucchini, a little bit of feta. I'm gonna chop up a little fresh chive to garnish this. And then here comes our Blackberry whiskey braised ribs. This is gonna go on the back end. Beautiful. Here we come with just a slight bit of sauce. Garnish this bad boy. Boom. And that's how we do it Colorado style.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jesse.
Thank you guys for watching Sons of Scullery. Hope you enjoy your meal.
Eat that beef.
It's what's for dinner.
Found a beautiful plaything, the one that lives inside my head. From now on I can never replace you, 'cause you can never ever replace the dead. I found a beautiful plaything, the one that lives inside my head. From now on I can never replace you, 'cause you can never ever replace the dead. Replace the dead. Replace the dead. Replace the dead. You can never ever replace the dead.
When making a potato castle, we have to be very careful with happy little potato people. So they're very happy in their little land. It's our happy little potato world. Until the big potato monster comes in and blows it over.